The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film, or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewelry? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Veil Jewelry Workshops. Veil Jewelry Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewelry. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets, and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping, and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.veiljewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@veiljewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248. Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalised keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewellery, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle, or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB. Or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. After an hour,
yeah.
An hour and a half. Yeah, but it's nice to talk about a few things before the podcast because we don't have to say anything controversial now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm very. Do you know what? I'm still a little bit tired.
You're still a little bit tired? You're still feeling it?
Still feeling it.
We've done a panto, people.
We have.
Oh yes, we have.
Oh no, we haven't.
Oh, shut up. No, I completely agree with you because. At the same time, people, if you're wondering, wait a minute, you've done a panto, but this is after Christmas.
Oh, yes.
This is after Christmas that this episode is coming out. So, people, I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. I hope you've been spoiled. I've been spoiled. I don't know if I've got for Christmas yet. I'm just saying I've been spoiled. So.
Oh, I know I'm going to be spoiled.
Yeah. But without further, we're feeling the tired. Because one of the things we want to talk about, this whole episode is reflecting 2024.
Yes.
Now, guys, we're still in the back room.
We are.
There's things crash bang walloping and chatting in the background. Because if you hear that, that's the authenticity of this podcast. Happy days.
I mean, you're currently laying on a bed of biscuits.
That's the thing.
So.
Well, hopefully, I can get my microphone and a new microphone on the way, so then we can get my computer, so things will start changing.
Things will be professional.
Yeah, professional.
Professional.
What does that mean?
It's professional.
Oh, professional.
Oh, Rhys.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like you said, we're still feeling the pinch. Oh God! So you're feeling tired after that?
I'm feeling very tired. It's almost like I've been so high strung on
caffeine.
Do you know what? No, I never once had caffeine during the week. It was only like literally the day after.
Oh.
When I because after the after show party, I had to go straight into work the next day.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was an effort and a half to
God.
get myself out of that bed. And I went into the shop to obviously get my lunch. And for the first time I looked at that energy drink and I was like, do you know what? You're going straight in my basket.
It's going straight in my basket.
It's going straight in my basket. And it's really bad because I was having those drinks. I'm not going to say what they were, but...
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine. I genuinely thought that it was squash because of the brand name, because I only know the brand name for it, squash. And so for a whole month I was having these drinks. and my friend was like, and she was like, you do realise there are energy drinks, right? And I'm like, what? No. Oh my god. No wonder why I'm bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, I'm not feeling tired, but I am feeling the emotions.
Feeling the lack.
The lack.
Yeah.
And I speak to you off the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
We do speak to each other outside of the podcast. We are good friends.
Yes.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about was post-show blues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people can say about post-show blues being, you can feel down and everything, but then there's a form of depression. It is a real thing. You can be diagnosed.
Yeah.
It's called PPD or PCD, depending on what you're doing. It is post-production depression or post-concert depression.
Ah.
Yeah. And I've got it.
You've got it.
I've got it big time, badly. I mean, if you want to ask the questions, and I can tell you about it, but...
I mean, why don't you just give a little about not the things you go through, but what
straight away into the depression syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, right, I've only noticed this in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was something to do with COVID or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've noticed it as well before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Every production I've done, whether it be Billboard, whether it be the plays that I've done or whatever, any event that I put my heart and soul in, I have a massive come down where a lot of people say, it's post-show blues, you're gonna get that because you've done this, you've done that, and I'm like, no, it's not that I get sad for a couple of hours afterwards and then move on. No, it stays like a leech, sucking the blood, draining me dry. And I've noticed a few times where after the show I don't know how to explain it. I get really depressed.
Yeah.
Really down. Mm-hmm. Really anxious. Almost to the point I'm in tears. There have been times where I've sat in a corner and just did not want to speak to people, and I'm in my mind it's rummaging all the stuff that what could be in the future, what could have been, what I want. And I speak to Emily about it, so my fiance, about it, and I couldn't understand why, and she said just because I want to do this as a profession, and because I can't do it, it's what gets me down.
Yeah.
So I went to seek help. Professional help. But a friend of mine is he's a mental health first aider.
Oh.
So I spoke to him about it because I feel like sometimes you can see a psychiatrist or a therapist, but then you're on the waiting list. But I thought I'd seek out help from a friend to give me some advice, and he said he was asking me questions like, how do you feel? How do you think? You've got post-production depression. Which is basically when people like actors or directors, or I don't know much about writers, but anyone who's heavily involved in a production, and they've been doing it for months on end, or maybe a couple of years or whatever, and they have to let this production go, it's very hard for people to let it go. Yeah. Basically, and that's what I've got, is post-production depression.
See, now I never knew that was an actual thing. Because I mean, for me, for me right now it's a little bit different because I haven't been on stage since, probably the other panto that I did, which was just after COVID, But if we're going to ignore that, it's been like 12 years since I've actually been on stage. Because I left to go to university to do the backstage stuff. Because for those who don't know, I am a trained hair and makeup and special effects artist.
Oh, they know.
Oh, they know.
Well, you had an episode. We did an episode.
Do you know what?
You're the 4th episode of my podcast.
Oh my God, 4th. And this is what now?
2024. And so basically, of all the podcasts that I potentially going to release, I'll be going into 67th. This is a 63rd.
Oh, Rhys, you expect me to remember like all the way back?
Yeah, but I have to remember. But just going and saying about the post-production depression, I'm more than comfortable and happy to tell you what happened to me after the pantomime we've done. So we did an after show party, but then something happened in the family.
Yes.
So then I had to leave the after show party very early, and but during the after show party, I think a few people were like, "Oh, Rhys is very energetic and everything." It's because I was enjoying what was left of the show, of the production, and because I left abruptly, it felt like it didn't close the chapter on that story. It felt like it's gone.
Yeah.
And I went home and someone wasn't well. It was a family event, and Emily was noticing that I was not myself. I was huffing and puffing, like slapping my hands. I mean, like that. Then I was, being in a right foul mood. And Emily knew something was wrong, but she couldn't pinpoint the reason. She thought it was because Emily was the one who had to call me to get me home.
Yeah.
So she thought it was to do with her, and we went out driving to a Tesco's to get some remedies and everything. And Emily asked me, "Can you go in and do it?" And I was like, "Fine." I was like, "Fine." Stormed out of the car, slammed the door. She started noticing that I was not okay.
Yeah.
And then when I came back after the remedies, I forgot one thing. She was like, "You forgot this," and I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" Went back in, got it, and everything. And she was trying to tell me, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, I'm fine. Just leave me alone." Now the thing is with me, when I'm really down, I'm really depressed, or I'm anxious or anything, I tend to bottle it up. And that's bad.
It is very
bad. It is bad. Please, I mean, I've written a play about it, right? About men's mental health and everything. And people, whether you be man or woman or whatever, if you feel like you're bottling things up, please don't do that. It is really, really dangerous for you guys to bottle it up.
Yes.
Please just speak to someone, because at the end of the day, talking to someone does help.
As a female who also does that, it's not good.
No, it's never good, because it can lead to dangerous paths, and it's never nice. And when I went home, and forgive all the doors closing and everything, there's a lot of people in this house. So when I went home with Emily and that, I sat in the corner. I was trying to do work, or not trying to do work, trying to take my mind off something, right? And I was making teas, I was making whatever, and in the end, that person was fine. Everyone went to bed, and Emily turned to me before she went to bed and said, "Are you okay?" I went, "I'm fine." But then, as I was sat in a rocking chair, because I got this nice little rocking chair that we've kept, I was sat there, and everything just came out. I began to tear up, and Emily was halfway up the stairs. She turned to see me with my hand on my cheek, tears flowing down my face. She came back down and talked to me, and I said, "I'm not ready to move on. It sucks." I was like, "I'm not ready," and she just sat on my lap and just gave me a hug. She was like, "It's okay. You've got other things to look forward to." And I said, "Yeah, but it's..." And she went, "I know, but you're gonna get through it. It's the PBD. This is what happens. It's fine." So it was nice that she knew that she wasn't worried that I was angry at her. She knew that I was very frustrated, very anxious, very frightened. about letting go of a production and moving on. So that's what happened to me in Talk when we came back from London. We were on the coach, and I told my mates afterwards. I told Chris Maxwell this and Lewis. I told all the boys. This, that
love them.
When I was on the coach, and when Lewis and Chris jumped off before us, a part of me, my heart broke for some reason. I don't know why, but I felt like, oh, I'm losing my mates. Because that's what got us together, and I was like, I'm not going to see my mates again.
Yeah.
Oh, this is, and that's post-production depression. You get anxious about these things.
Yeah.
But no, we still speak to each other, and we're making the best efforts to see each other every now and then and speak to each other. So I'm really grateful that I got mates like that to go, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
What's a pain in the neck is Lewis is always working. Stop working. Stop earning a living. Oh.
How dare you earn a living?
But that's PBD for you. That's, I mean, I'm okay now. There's been a few, down moments. Yeah. Not like I've been pouring my eyes out or whatever, but there's been a few moments where I'm like, oh. Yeah. I think the norm post-show blues, like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. It's still there, but yeah, that's it. It
really, really sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks. I mean, I don't want to kind of rub it in your face, but the only sadness I had was I'm never going to wear my ball gown again.
Do you know that ball scene?
I loved my balls, the ball.
Oh, the balls. You love your balls.
I love the balls.
Do you know what? My few favourite things about that panto was, so this is where the prince holds his balls. Oh, and dances. Yeah. My favourite one. Hello, Sue. How are you? Hello, Vi. How's the eye? Oh, Annie. How's your fiance? I love the laughter it just gets from people.
It's because I think a lot of people forget that pantos are not just for the kids, they're for the adults as well, because there are very much like a Disney movie. There are very adult hidden bits inside the panto, which makes it, a fantastic show.
What makes it a family panto?
It does.
I just don't understand. I mean, we should probably talked about this in the last one because it was about panto. I get what was it? I've heard a few people say, oh, this panto was disgusting, or these crude jokes and everything, and I was like, get a grip, get a life.
Yeah.
Snowflakes. But I loved that panto. One of my other favourite bits was me and Mike on stage, and it's like, I'm Ted Baker. Oh, I'm Greg's the Baker. I'm Jimmy Choo.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I cocked up on one of the scenes. I don't know if you noticed this, but in one of the shows, I think it was the evening one. Amy, who was playing the prince, said, "Which one of you has the key to Cinderella's attic? If none of you brings it, if anything happens to Cinderella, I'll have you three executed."
Oh, yeah.
And I improvised the line, "Oh, I calm down. It's a pantomime. Execution and everything. How dare you?" But for some reason, typical me, just a reaction in my head, I went, all right, woman, calm down. And I just stood there for a moment, thinking, you're probably wondering how I got here. And Barbara O'Reilly by The Who plays in the background, like, it's like, this is how I got here.
Yeah, but did it get a laugh, though?
It got a laugh.
Oh, well, there we go.
I was like, oh, thank God for that, because Rhiannon tried not to laugh, Mike tried not to laugh, Noah, bless him, which I might add was a brilliant button.
He was fantastic.
He was trying not to laugh. But what was even more funny was the fact that Amy was trying not to laugh but trying to be serious at the same time.
Yeah.
The audience and someone went, hang on a minute, woman? What? And I just went, man, woman. And I went, what are you again? But what was even more funny was Jay, our music director. The band were in the pit, and Jay just looked up and went. He just looked at me in the most, what came out of your mouth? And I looked at him and I was like, don't look at me, please don't look at me. I'm trying not to. Don't look. And he tried to, and what I noticed as well, he tried to have a sip of his drink, and all you see is his shoulders and head just bobbing up and down, trying not to laugh. He told me afterwards, he was like, "Oh, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen," and I was like, "Thank God the audience laughed."
Oh God, yeah.
Just-
Was that when nobody could find the key? Because obviously in the show the key was put out into the audience, wasn't it?
There's two different types of keys. There's the big sod off one, and then there's this
Yes.
little one that's like laminated flat, and no one could find the flat one.
Yeah.
And it was the city one. It was tiny. It was like bigger than, it's the same size as my hand, really, and no one can find it. And it took, I think it was the same one, because it took about good 15-20 minutes before someone found it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I just sat down on that chair where you try to play.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just there going, "Oh, take your time. I'm not helping. I'm supposed to be the villain. I ain't helping."
But do you know what's funny is that I'm pretty sure that my parents, my family came to see that show, and afterwards,
Yeah.
my sister, who was the one who put it in on the seat,
Yeah.
by the way, she immediately walked over to the seat and she picked it up straight away, and she was like, "The idiots!" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, but the thing is, it was probably put underneath like an old person's chair, an OAP chair, and they're not going to go looking underneath their chair."
Yeah.
You know, it's because what I originally thought happened is that they chose a seat that we knew was going to be a child or an adult of a child. So I thought it was pre-planned. No, apparently it is literally just thrown to the boot, any random old chair.
What was funny as well is that we pick on one of the male members of the audience.
Yes.
And we had this one where I went, "Oh, my sister is looking for a husband," and put up the stage lights and the crowd lights. And I went, "Oh, what's your name, dear?" And he went, "Gavin." And I just looked and I was like, "Oh, please be it true." I went, "Hello, Gavin, where are you from?" And he went, "Barry." And I was just there going, "All right, Gavin, how's it going?" I was like, "This is perfect chef kiss moment. We are having fun with this one." And every time I come on, I go, "All right, Gavin, how's it going? All right." It was I loved the pantos. I absolutely adore the pantos, and can't wait for the next one. Never know. Like I said, I'm doing a play which is about a panto, but we'll hopefully see. I could do it. If can't do it Billboard, I'm going to do it one way or the other.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
But speaking of Gavin, of Gavin and Stacey, because around about this time, we're not going to know how good Gavin and Stacey is or was, because this is going to be released after Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not up with the Gavin and Stacey.
No, I did, but I want to talk about this. Is the thing I want to talk about, because James Corden, whether you love him or hate him, he has been a part of British TV, British film, whatever. Well, what is your opinion of James Corden?
Now, first of all, I didn't really, I'm going to be brutally honest, I never really had an opinion on him, because the only way that I knew him was through Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
And I will say that I did enjoy his role in Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen it before. I went into the woods with fresh eyes, and I saw him perform, and I thought, "Oh, he's a good performer." And then he just seems to crop up in almost every musical film, and and then I've been hearing some not very good things about him, and I'm a bit like, so I'm kind of neutral about him.
Same.
Obviously, I can't turn around to him and say that he's a horrendous actor, because I saw him in Into the Woods and I enjoyed it.
I think this is my initial opinion about James Corden.
Mm-hmm.
I've obviously you watch Mojo,
don't you?
Oh,
on YouTube,
yes.
WatchMojo, they
Yeah.
do the top 10. But WatchMojo UK have done about 3 or 4 videos on James Corden alone.
Really?
Like, James Corden is a wanker. Or this is why James Corden. I'm like, just admit you don't like James Corden.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But I've seen the comments and... someone tried again. Hi, Gav. My opinion on James Corden has always been yes, because he apparently he refused to help his wife, whether it was at the airport or on a plane, to help with the crying child.
Oh.
He just put the face mask on and headphones and I was like, right, despicable. Then about the restaurant one where he abused, like verbally abused the waiting staff and everything.
Yes,
Look, we've heard it all before, the stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm more for the fact that he deserves the criticism, but I just feel like the criticism is getting to the point now where you're just hating James Corden to make it a trend.
Yes.
And I'm not jabbing at WatchMojo. I'm taking jabs at everyone, because there's a few things every time. I don't like looking up comments on social media now where people are slagging him out, saying, oh, he's not a good actor, he's this, he's always on this, he's always on that, oh, he's going back to Gavin and shitty Stacey or whatever. Like, I'm like, don't diss Gavin and Stacey, man. It's like, it's good. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine, that's your personal preference, but don't shit on it, because it's still going. It's like, oh, why is it going? Oh, James Corden always goes to that because he needs to be liked again. It's like, no, I mean...
See, but the thing is, Gavin and Stacey was like... it's going because it's good. Because people there is a fan base for it.
And it brought attention back to a town. It really rejuvenated the town. But this is why I think I get a little bit personally... I used to dislike Gavin and Stacey, but now I appreciate what is done for the community of Barry.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's given a lot of local businesses the merchandise that the Barry Island stores have. Whether I'll have to do it or not, I don't care, but it's generated them a lot of money.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's helping the community a lot better.
Yeah.
Now, going back on what I was saying about James Corden, it's like, he's like mustard. You either like him or you don't like him. I stated this on my Gavin and Stacey video not long ago, right, where I talked about my experience of filming Gavin and Stacey.
Yes.
I said, listen, when I was around James Corden, not that I was rubbing shoulders with him or anything like that, but from what I've seen, he seemed to be a nice guy. Yeah. And people could argue and say, yeah, but he's trying to save face. It's like, yeah, but people are happy with an autograph or a photo, and he's doing that.
See, but the thing is, what I think what beefs me up most is that social media will blow things out of proportion to get that clickbaity reach.
Yeah.
Like, they will take one situation and blow it way out of proportion. Like, for example,
well, let me use this example while you're thinking about it, right? It's like all the things that... It's like a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, his carpool karaoke, it was awkward, it was this. It's like some of the things that the social media are attacking James Corden for, the wrongdoings. I'm like, yeah, I mean, call out for criticism. Yeah. You know, what he's done some of the times with the restaurant situation, with the Harvey Weinstein jokes he did, you know, the things that WatchMojo UK put out, right? I'm like, yeah, it's justifiable, but I just feel like, yeah, he made a dick move. Do I feel like he deserves all the hatred in the world? You know, I was like, he's not as if he's committed murder or something like that. I just feel like, yeah, he's just, yeah. There's a part of me who was like, yeah, he's like, oh, he's always in it. It's like, yeah, but that's not his fault.
No.
It's not his fault. It's like, he was rubbish in the prom. He badly stereotyped gay people. It's like, yeah, but Ryan Murphy cast him in it. Yeah. Ryan Murphy, the same Ryan Murphy who is openly, proudly gay, who does a lot of LGBTQ themed projects. Yeah. He cast James Corden. He told him, this is how you do it. So if you're going to blame James Corden for that crap, you're going to have to blame Ryan Murphy for that crap. Yeah. There's always two sides of the story.
There is always, because it's one thing that I'm not overly impressed about people saying, oh, that person was rubbish in that film. It's not just that person. It's also the script that they're given. Yeah. It's the direction that they're given.
The performance alongside with others.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the prom. The prom had Meryl Streep,
Mm.
one of the finest, greatest actresses of all time, and
Yeah.
James Corden was mostly with her.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not trying to defend James Corden because I know he's done wrong, but I'm like, I just feel like the hatred he's been given recently, I think it's getting a bit not stale. How would I put it? It's more like it's getting
repetitive.
It's getting repetitive. It's like, yeah, you don't like him, okay, move on.
Yeah.
You're the one who's latching onto it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's getting a lot of positive buzz because of Gavin and Stacey, and then I just noticed that all the it's not just Watch Mojo. I love Watch Mojo. There's a few other things like videos and people are saying he's a rubbish actor. It's like, well, if he's a rubbish actor, why is he getting a lot of jobs?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because he's a name. Yeah, but why is he a name?
Yeah, but just because he's a name doesn't mean that he's going to that he's good.
He has come from theatre.
Exactly. I mean, it's proven when he did Into the Woods and when he did
History Boys. I mean, he One Man, Two Governors, for which he won a Tony Award for. He beat James Earl Jones, for Christ's sakes, for that.
Jesus.
He beat James Earl Jones, and I'm not saying that. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, but it's like, oh, just get a grip.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if I would, as an interviewer, if someone said to me, "Oh, all right then, Rhys, if you had James Corden on his show, would you be licking his ass?" It's like, no, I would call it. I would say, look, you did this, you did that, you did this. Do you feel that you look back now and think, yeah, I shouldn't have done that? I would challenge him on it.
Yeah.
I would challenge him, but I wouldn't. Bash the guy, because at the end of the day, we're all human.
I was just about to say, because the thing is, if I was told to have him on the show, obviously I would try not to bring it up, because obviously you don't really want to bring up someone's
personal problems unless you've agreed to, like, look, we'll talk about it, and I would give him the opportunity. I always believe it's like Napoleon Bonaparte always said, never interrupt your enemies while they're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Because it's down to them, not you. And I feel like interviewers nowadays, especially Piers Morgan, they just don't let them breathe.
Yeah.
What do you think about today? Oh, wait, what would you? Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
But again, with James Corden, I don't know if I'm doing a full circle here. I'm like you, neutral. I just feel like, yeah, he's done stuff wrong, but would I say he's the most despicable person ever? No, he's done dick things, but he's not done, like, I don't know, would you compare it to Ellen DeGeneres? Would you compare it to P. Diddy and R. Kelly, what they've done and everything? It's like, no.
No, not at all.
I think what he needs now is, I don't think Gavin and Stacey's going to help Mads, because there's a lot of people in America and in the UK that don't like him. I just feel like it's like he tried doing. This is the one thing that I really criticise James Corden for. Right, he stopped delayed the production because England were playing in the World Cup or Euros, and the way I saw it, right, he was in a play, Bristol Old Vic, by the way.
Oh God, right.
And he was watching it on his phone with the cast, and the crowd were there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll get down to it." I just find it's like someone said, that's despicable for what he's doing, because it's slapping the face of theatre etiquette and integrity. But at the same time, he was like, someone said he was trying to make the audience feel part of what was going on the football. Now, my argument to that is, you know me, I am a massive football nut.
Yes.
I love my country, I love Wales, I would try and follow them in the football. Barry Town are the same, but I've missed a few I missed a few Barry Town games to do productions, but I didn't go on stage and gone, hang on a minute, I'm watching the game here.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to watch it? Not many people in the theatre love football.
No, I really don't. So I am not the biggest fan of football. I mean, if I'm invited to go and see it, I will happily go and see it, because at the end of the day,
something to do.
It's something to do. That's how me and my friends go to. We watch the 100 every year. Yeah. Because it was something to do. We took a gamble and we actually really enjoyed it. It's really weird. Not a lot of people can, will turn around and go, "Oh yeah, I go every year and watch the cricket." Anyway, but as somebody who isn't the biggest fan of football. If I was to pay insert amount of money here to go and see a show that somebody, doesn't matter who you are, stops and goes, oh no, I'm currently watching the football, I would kick off.
Yeah. Even if it was like the show's about to begin or something, it's like, no, because there is people want to get home, and you're delaying their advantage or opportunities and everything.
Because obviously, me and you, we live in Barry. If we went to Cardiff to go and see a show, and it was delayed because some actor was just like, oh no, I need to finish watching the game. That is now stopping me from going home because, or stopping us from going home because the trains stop at like 11:30.
Yeah.
The last train is 11:30.
And the buses as well. And that means you'd have to get a taxi back home, and it's going to cost you 25 quid that you don't need to spend.
Well, the last time I took a taxi was 30 quid up front.
Yeah, you've been conned on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go up to a taxi and go, can you give me a lift? And they gone up front, 30 quid.
Well, to be honest, I didn't. It was my friends. Because it was, unfortunately, it was like a Friday or a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And you know how they like to, bump up the prices because people, they think that they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Because people are drunk. Anyway, so we,
Going back and saying about James Corden, a lot of people say, yeah, but people, because we're talking about the dick things, a lot of people are saying, well, it just proves our point. It's like, yeah, it's proving your point up to a point.
Yes.
It's like, do I feel like he's the most despicable man ever? No. There are people 10 times worse than him. Mm-hmm. Do I feel like he has an opportunity to give back or, make a comeback? Yeah. I just feel like he needs the right people around it, like the right publicist to say, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Now, what I will say is that I wouldn't actively go and see a show because he's in it, but I wouldn't actively stop seeing a show because he's in it.
Yeah.
If I saw a film with him in it, like on TV or whatever, I'd sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to watch something that I wouldn't, I wouldn't treat him like,
he's garbage.
Like Mads Mikkelsen. Like I would actively go and see a film that Mads Mikkelsen is because he is
God.
He is a very, very wonderful human being.
Who played the cannibal?
He's played. Oh my God. Anyway. When
my experience was with James Corden, both on the filming of Gavin and Stacey's in 2019 and this year alone, because I actually went to the filming.
Okay.
He took the time. He took the photos, and from the experience I have had with James Corden as someone who's just briefly meeting him, he was lovely.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I'm not trying to. I hope people are listening, going, "Oh my God, he's defending James Corden." I'm only defending James Corden to a point where it's like, yes, he has done wrong. Do I feel like he's the most despicable man ever? I just feel like the hatred is a bit of necessary but unnecessary.
It's a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Like for
if you don't like him, fine. Why are you having the energy to comment saying he's not a good actor or he's not a good this? It's like he's worked his craft.
Yeah.
He's I feel like I agree with Into the Woods. I think he's brilliant in Into the Woods.
Yeah.
The Prom, people are saying he badly stereotyped someone who's homosexual, and I'm like, I can't argue with that. I'm not homosexual, with Cats, that's an abomination in itself.
Yeah.
That's an abomination itself. Do I feel like, the Late Late Show he did, I feel like he's done good things and bad things. It's just typical, not even Hollywood. I just feel like James Corden needs to hopefully just sit down, reevaluate, and go, right, what can I do to make things better?
Yeah.
And not make it like, I mean, that's what I got to say about James Corden. That's what I wanted to talk about James Corden for, because I just feel like there's some things where people can criticize him for doing, i.e., the way he's acted towards people, the way he's been rude and everything. Yeah, call it out on that. But on performance levels and a few other bits and pieces, he's like, oh, he's in everything. It's like the criticism of Jack Black now. Oh, he's in everything. It's like, yeah, but he's Jack Black. But with Jack Black, I can understand if people said, yeah, but it's Jack Black playing Jack Black. He's not playing a character. It's just Jack Black coming on, calling himself something, but he's still him. And I was like, yeah, I agree. I can see that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that Jack Black does what Jack Black does best.
Yeah.
And I am okay with it.
I'm a fan of Jack Black. Anyway.
To be fair, I am a fan of Jack Black.
Yeah, but I'm also, again, I'm a fan of James Corden. I am a fan of James Corden. I just feel like, yeah, he's done dick things, but there's going to be a few people who are in the public eye who are going to do dick things.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning it, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, people who are in the spotlight will always have negative things said about them. You can be an absolute angel in the eyes of the public, but there will always be that corner of people that will just hate you just because you're famous. Like quite a lot of people that I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, they will just pop out a video every so often saying that, you know, they need a break from social media because of all of the backlash that they get. And they're just getting backlash just because people are sour.
Yeah.
People are really, really sour, and they will bring up something that they said like years ago, but out of context, it's really bad.
Yeah.
But in context, it's, you know, it's better, but like it makes more sense to what they said. And
I think with sort of, because I don't want to go on to social media a lot though, because but this year alone we've saw many social media influencers take so much bashing because of their credibility. I can't even call it credibility. It's like someone tried to call me an influencer the other day, and I was like, I'm not an influencer.
Oh, who? What?
I can't remember, but I was like, I'm not an influencer. I'm a podcaster. I'm a poet. I'm a playwright. I just do it because I love doing it.
Yes.
You know, we can always mention about Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I mean, Logan Paul's in WWE. I like him in WWE because he fits that build. As a bad guy, is like, I'm unapologetically a prick, because that's what he is. He's unapologetically a prick, like his brother, who is a mediocre boxer at best, fighting a 57-year-old old man. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. But you know, but concluding about James Corden, I feel like, yeah, he deserves the criticism for what the bad stuff he's done, but I feel like there are times now, I think, where people are just hating him.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, people are hating him just for the sake of hating him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's become a trend now with people. It's like, you're hating it because it's a trend. It's like, oh, I don't like him because why? Or because he's Jack Black, or because he's James Corden. Okay, why do you not like him then? Yeah. What's he done to you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
if you don't like the stuff he's in, don't go and see it.
Yeah.
If you really, really don't like seeing it on your social media, you do realise that there is a tab where you can click on it and say, I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
And
you can block it. You can yeah.
Exactly.
Don't, and on YouTube, this tab says, don't recommend channel. Click on it.
Oof, gone. It's so easy and so simple, but people will...
Make it hard.
People enjoy the hate hype train, and it really shows.
Have you seen it badly? Not from against you, but have you seen it from other people where you'd be like, why are you hating that person for?
Yes, but I can, so I will say that I do go and watch like people do video essays on why this person is a bad, you know, on the reason why this person is in the shit. How, you know.
Same.
And because I live for gossip, I'm not going to lie to you. But I will understand, like, I don't understand why people will watch, for example, watch one of those videos and go, oh yeah, I hate this person because they've done this. Like, okay, you've watched that video, you have made your opinion about said person. Don't be that douchebag that goes and seeks them out just to give them clout, just to like make their life harder, because their life is already going to be hard enough as it is because of all of these things that they're doing, and it's piling up and piling up and piling up. Because as you said, let the enemies make their mistakes, because they will just dig themselves into a grave and they will make their own end. You don't have to put your tuppence in just to feel good, because you go, oh yes, I don't like this person, I put them in their place by going, you're a really bad actor. They're gonna see, they're not even gonna look at that comment.
No.
So why bother?
Why make that time and energy just to...
Yeah. In fact, I've been trying to think of an actor that I don't like, that I'm going to use as an example, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But like, if I don't like an actor, I am not going to go to their social media and go, oh, you're a bad person, you're an awful actor, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. Just don't go and see anything that they're in.
Yeah. It's the same with
so
The Rock.
easy.
It's the same with Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock. Now, I think I do believe, controversial opinion, he is a good actor. The problem with The Rock is he's his own franchise.
He's riding his name.
He's riding his name, where when he first started out in acting, when he was going from the WWE to acting in the early stages, if you look at him, right, he wasn't built like a brick shithouse. You know, he was... Yeah, there's a few films that you go, oh, that's not a good film.
Yeah.
But he gave it a go, and he looked Hollywood. He looked the part. He looked like, oh yeah, he's going to give it a go. But ever since after, I believe, Fast and Furious, when he first started, this franchise of him, his brand, that's the word, brand.
Yes. His
brand has always been like, I'm The Rock, I'm in this movie. Okay, what you playing? I'm playing a guy called Terry. He's a truck driver. And then you go watch him play Terry, the truck driver, and it's The Rock, just a truck driver. Yeah. And there's explosions and everything. And he plays the same part all the time. The Rock.
Yeah.
He's just playing The Rock.
See, people complain about Jack Black, about Jack Black playing Jack Black.
The Rock is awful for it.
He's exactly the same. In fact, the only
same costume, same look, same everything.
In fact, the only film that I think that doesn't apply to that is Maui from Moana. And even then, it's still similarly The Rock.
Yeah.
But
they kept him at bay.
But in terms of the character, that is who the character is. And because you don't see Dwayne in person because it's animation, you can suspend that disbelief that it's The Rock playing The Rock.
Yeah, but you're gonna have that live action remake though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going staying on with The Rock though.
Yeah.
It's like I loved him when he came back to WWE, and he was the bad guy. I was like, oh my god, this is really good, because he was this squeaky clean Hollywood, smiley. But then when he came in, this storyline with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and everything, and he was let loose of swearing and everything, like proper despicable bad guy. I was like, that is what I'm after.
Yeah. This
is awesome. Also, he's doing an A24 production, A24 drama, you know, and it's a bio about a UFC fighter. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can still have that acting chops. I think the problem with him is that his brand is he's afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
He's very repetitive. There's video essays about it all the time.
Although, to be fair, I think a lot of it is typecast. very much like James Corden and the musical
Guy, yeah.
the musical movies. Once they saw that he was good in Into the Woods,
Yeah.
he in every musical film, it seems, people are like, oh, he's going to be in it because he was good in Into the Woods. And it's very much like The Rock.
Yeah.
And it's very much like Jack Black as well. In fact, all three of them, they've been typecast because they can play one particular type of character. But they're damn good at it.
Yeah. With The Rock, though, I know for a fact, for a man in his early 50s, to look that big, you're going to need some juice.
Yeah.
You're going to need some juice. And he completely denies it. He's like, oh, I'm not taking steroids. Like, dude, you're in your 50s. A 53-4-year-old man does not look like you without a bit of
Let me have
Lucy juices. Right. See, if we had a screen, I could easily see. Look, see the comparison. And one of the things I want to try and do in this podcast is get like a video of us two doing that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we need to look at this. We need to look at that. Proper Joe Rogan style. I was like, Jamie, pull that up a minute.
The Rock.
I'm not just. It's just. I just feel like he just needs to have that career resurgence again. But he's using his $7 productions. Like, I'm going to be in my own movies now. I'm untouchable. It's like, Jesus Christ, Rock, just don't be afraid for failure.
Yeah.
That's what I think some people as well. Because when you create a brand, you're afraid of failure. But I think that's what makes you good, though. If you're not afraid to make failures, how are you going to succeed? I mean,
is that him now?
Wait, that's him now.
That's him now.
Now look at him back in 2002. Look at him back in 2002 when he was in his 30s. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That is quite the difference.
And yeah, that is some juicy woosy kind of testosterone level.
Juicy woosy.
Juicy woosy testosterone-y. That man is on the roids. That man is on the freaking roids.
Of course he is.
And I'm really disappointed in Joe Rogan because he had The Rock on his podcast. But prior to that, he openly criticised The Rock for being on the juice, being on steroids.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then when he had him on the show, he didn't confront him about it. I'm like, oh my God, why don't you do? But there we go. What do I know, eh? I'm just a podcaster with 115 subscribers. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's 115 more than I have for any of my
No, but I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful.
The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film, or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewelry? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Veil Jewelry Workshops. Veil Jewelry Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewelry. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets, and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping, and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.veiljewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@veiljewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248. Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalised keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewellery, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle, or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts it's the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB. Or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift.
Right, back again.
Back again.
Yeah, back again after a little break.
Guess who's back?
Back
again.
So, 2024 has been one hell of a year.
It has. It's been a hell of a ride.
It's been one hell of a journey, and I'm really surprised what I've succeeded in this year alone, and last year as well.
I know. Are you going to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the podcast and people who are listening how many shows you've done this year alone?
5.
5. You
2.
madman.
I am a madman, but I am loved for it.
Yes.
Typecast me like The Rock. He's good at playing madmen. No, I've done 5 shows. 5 shows alone.
It's insane.
I did Talk twice.
Mm-hmm.
Once I wasn't in it, but the other one I was.
Yeah.
One was in Cowboys, one was in London. Guess which one I was in? I did Kinky Boots.
Mm-hmm.
I did my poetry night.
Yeah.
To sell my poetry books, which I've nearly sold out, by the way.
Very nice.
And I've done the panto. Done Cinderella. So that has been one hell of a top. Not just for that.
Mm-hmm.
I did the podcast.
Yeah.
I've done a lot.
You've done a lot.
A lot.
I mean, I've just flitted in every now and then and be like, hey, here's my voice, let's chat. And
You're coming in a lot more in the new year.
In the new year?
Yeah, you're coming in a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just to help out, just be part of the furniture.
Be part of the furniture.
No, you are part of the furniture. In all fairness, though, I've really needed you back on the show because you're the co-host.
The co-host.
You're the co-host.
I mean, to be fair, we can chat for hours.
Oh yeah.
So with you interviewing all of your famous people,
my famous people,
your famous people and your celebrities, and I'm just the gas to keep you going.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
No, it has been fun, and I can't wait for the next 3 episodes to come out because I've already announced who they're going to be.
Yes.
I have reflected back on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I have looked back and gone, there's some things I could do better,
mm-hmm.
and there's some things I feel like, oh, that's a triumph.
Yes.
If you can ask me straight away, I mean, you're more than welcome to. But
all right, let's go for your triumph. What one did you wow, grammar. Which one did you see immediately and gone, yes, that's your prize for this year?
George Chakiris.
Really?
George Chakiris, which is going to be out in the new year.
Okay.
That is the first ever Oscar winner I've ever had on my show, and then for him to win for his performance in as Bernardo in West Side Story in 1961. I watched West Side Story loads of times.
Yeah.
I never thought I was going to get him. I never thought I was going to get an Oscar winner. I've had Oscar nominees. I've had Laurie Yeston. I've had Charles Fox. I've had a few other a few people. I've had some Tony Award winners, which I'm really grateful of. But to have an Oscar winner, I think it's that next level of if you can get an Oscar winner, you can get anyone.
Yes.
In a sense, I know it's not going to be as easy because obviously, if you're going to try and figure out the next person that you want, it's not like the Joe Rogan experience where he can get anyone if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Where people can email him or you can ask someone and they can come on and he's got the millions of followers, which I'm still looking to grow.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm very grateful that people have still tuned in to listen to us or listen to me with people. I'm grateful. So I feel like, the George Chakiris, that's one of the triumphs that I've done. To keep it going as well.
Yeah.
The patience, the determination. I'm just really that determined to make it a success.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy it.
Yes.
I've kept that joy going for so long. There have been times where, I will be honest with you, there have been times where I've gone, oh, is this really worth it? Mm-hmm. And the one time where I was going to nip it in the bud and say no more was there was an episode I did with Robert Clockworthy, and he's a voice actor. He's done Ancient Aliens, narrated a lot of it, and I just got to the point where I got fed up. So I emailed him and cancelled, but he didn't read the email. So he was waiting for me on Zoom. So I dashed here to my grandfather's room, because he's got like a computer desk and everything, and I did it straight away. But once I got off that Zoom podcast, there was a part of me that was like, you can carry on, because you wouldn't, if you weren't that determined, you would have just emailed him again and say, I'm not doing it. So there was something in my brain, there was something in my heart to go, keep going. And Emily was pushing me as well, my family were pushing me. It's like, keep going, something good will happen. And
look at you now.
Look at me now. Look at me now. So there's the positives.
Yes. Yeah.
The negatives. I think the repetitiveness is not helping, because I've noticed in a few podcasts where I've mentioned the same stories over and over and over again. I feel like the people who listen to the podcast are going to be like, oh, Rhys, we've heard this before. Oh, we've heard it many, many times.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things I'm going to try and do in the new year is not be as repetitive. And if I get asked, oh, what have you done and everything, I think because I've done so much, but compared to someone like George Kiris or William Davis or Maury Yeston or all the people I've had on the show, compared to them who've got a lot more experience than I have, right? I can only give what I've done. But I think one of them is the repetitiveness. Hopefully I can get someone, to not just come on the show, but to be part, to sort out the social media, because I've done it all on my own. The social medias, the YouTube uploads and everything, I've only just recently got on to TikTok.
Oh boy, that's a whole kettle of fish.
Yeah.
That's a whole kettle of fish, because I don't know how I feel about TikTok, purely because, right, I originally wanted a place to put all my artwork. It's not great artwork, but it's somewhere to put it. And I made a TikTok account on my computer, because what I tend to do is I tend to upload, first of all, my iPad is crap. It is like 50 million years old.
It needs coal.
Honestly, it really does. It doesn't last like 2 hours without charge. It's mad. But I haven't got the money to get myself a new one, so it is what it is. So what I do is I tend to take everything off that and put it onto my computer, and then the plan was to upload it to YouTube. Now I noticed that when I uploaded something onto my computer, I wasn't getting the interaction. I wasn't getting the people, the people weren't viewing it. So I thought, do you know what? Let's just take one of those videos from that account and post it onto my shitpost account and see what happens. I was getting a lot more interactions. Like, there were a fair few hundred people watching it, whereas on my account that I had on my computer, I was still on like 4 people. 4 people had only seen it. And I was like, well, what is going on? The algorithm is very touch and go, but I'm not too sure whether that's because the account, my shitposting account, has been going for quite some time. I have uploaded some
previous work.
Some not some previous work, but like some really, really silly like videos using filters and stuff like that. Whereas with my art account, quote quote,
it's relatively new.
It is relatively new.
Yeah.
And because I don't go liking things on that account, I literally use it just to post. But to be fair, I only posted like 4 things because I noticed that, and now I can't get back into that account to delete it. Whoops.
But it's the same with Creative Space, because I only just sort of recently uploaded new content onto TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube account is only 2 years old, but the
Yeah.
podcast has been going for 3. My sole intention was not to put anything on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It was only until I think a year in where, again, my fiance was like, you need to put stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people watch things on YouTube.
Yeah, and so that was it. And some people are like, oh, I've had my friend Sam Lewis say to me, you've had so many big guests on your show, I'm surprised you've only got 90 views for this, or 100 views for this, or like 6,000 views for that. It's like they said the algorithm is crap. What's going on? I was like, I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a marketing person. I'm a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more visual. I'm more practical rather than, oh, this is the math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The algorithm, I just really don't understand. Really don't understand it. Because I've noticed that I follow quite a few content creators on TikTok. And it's very rare that when they post things, for me to actually see it on my For You page. I have to go into the people that I follow tag, like at the top, to be able to see that stuff. And sometimes I'm seeing things that have been posted like weeks and weeks ago. And I'm like, well, I just look like I'd look like a little bit of a stalker now. It's like liking it. It's like going on to one of the other social medias that we're not going to mention, and liking a picture that's like 2 years old. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, why would you show me an image that is 2 years old?
Yeah, but it's the same with Facebook, isn't it? Because Facebook, the feed is weird because you can see a post that was uploaded a few days ago.
Yeah.
And you're only just having to react to it.
Yeah. Well, it was like when we were doing rehearsals. We were mid-rehearsal, and my phone went off with something that the director had posted in our group chat. That was posted 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe that I've literally only just got this. And I showed my sister, and I was like, look at this BS, right? And she was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. It's one of the reasons.
It's probably Y2K delaying itself 24 years later.
Oh, pretty much. Like,
yeah, robots are taking over the world, people.
It's one of the reasons why I don't go onto Facebook. I genuinely don't.
I
use
just
Facebook.
but I'm really glad just staying on to looking back on 2024.
Yes.
I'm just glad that I've got the guests that I've had on.
Yeah.
Gregory Maguire, the author of Wicked. That was pure luck. That was pure luck.
Yeah.
Because the representative of Gregory Maguire said he's interested, but don't be surprised that you can't find a date and time.
Yeah.
Because he's all podcasted out.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Yeah. The one person I'd love to have on the show is Stephen Fry.
Oh, I could listen to that man's voice for hours.
I just love the information. That man is an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You could talk about the ethos of a Yellow Pages, you know. It's like, and I would listen to that man for hours just talking about it. I was like, yes, I'm behind you, yes.
Honestly, I have got him reading the Sherlock Holmes books on Audible. It is incredible because his voice is one of those voices that I would just be able to listen to for hours.
Yeah.
Same with John Hurt. Stephen Fry, John Hurt, and
David Attenborough.
Yeah, David Attenborough. But unfortunately for David Attenborough, it has to be about animals. Whereas the others, as you said, they can read they can read recipes to me, and I would find it so engaging.
Richard Burton as well.
Yes.
Oh my god, the way he tells a story. But there's something about Stephen Fry that he's got full of knowledge, but it is the definition of comedians are really intelligent people. A lot of people seem to think that we're comedians comedic actors, comedians, comedian writers, a lot of people keep thinking that all they know is funny. It's like, yeah, but where do you think they get the funny from? They got to do the research.
They have got.
And it's like Stephen. It's like look at some of the actors, like Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry. I don't know about Hugh Laurie, but I'll add Hugh Laurie into this just for a moment. I could be wrong, so apologies. But those 3 actors came from like Cambridge, Oxford.
Yeah.
Richard Curtis as well. I think he came from Cambridge. These came from like upper class universities, and they're just doing all these funny gags and for shits and giggles.
Yeah. But as you said, you've got to be really, really in the know to make the joke work.
Yeah. And to support it as well.
Yeah. Like I when I went to Comic-Con, I stayed all the way to the end to see this thing called the Dark Room, right? And I swear I have never laughed so much in my life, because he's well, obviously, number one, he's a bit of a nerd, so all the nerd jokes really, really hit. But I found him on TikTok, and like, he's smart enough to take a jab at the was it physics or was it chemistry? Or it was like a really, really intelligent subject, and he made a really, really funny joke, and he was like, see, I thought I was going to be the only one laughing at that joke, but you're all nerds and you get it, and that makes it funny.
Yeah. Shall I tell you another? Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, you have to have that knowledge to be able to make a joke, but for it to land really well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people don't realise that it takes a lot to be a really good comedian.
Yeah. It's like my band always says to me, why are you doing a comedy play? It's like, because, I mean, I don't know, I like to think that I can have a go at comedy. If I can deliver it, I can deliver it performance-wise, I can deliver it writing-wise.
Yes.
I mean, one of the things I'm also proud of is when I took the play to London.
Yes.
That I think that's one of my crowning achievements.
Yeah.
Going to London to perform a play off West End that I've written. And one of the things I'm proud of, and it's on the YouTube, people, is Chris Maxwell. He does not like Star Wars. He doesn't mind it. He's like, he went, I don't dislike Star Wars, and he's like, right, okay, it's on there, people, and he goes, Star Wars is a perfectly cromulent show. Don't know what cromulent means? None of you fuckers watch The Simpsons? If you don't watch The Simpsons, none of you got shit on me. And then my mate Lewis goes, Simpsons? He goes, suck my dick. Oh, the passion that man brings are just...
he's got such... I love Chris Maxwell. He's so nice.
Yeah.
He's really, really funny.
And also one of my closest and dearest friends, Jake Cancellieri, who came to watch me in a pantomime.
Nice.
He said, oh, dude, I'm getting a leg tattoo, I am. And I was like, oh, really? And he showed me the shaven legs, and I was like, oh, okay. And and he said, oh, it's going to be a surprise. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to get. And I was like, oh, all right then. And it's literally, you will love this.
Okay.
You will love this. He's got on his leg, from the bottom to the top, the map of Middle Earth with Rohan and everything. And I was like, you can have my sword. I will ride with you to Mount Doom.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Me and my best mate Jake, we loved Lord of the Rings since we were kids. Absolutely loved it. I used to have a bunk bed as well.
Did you? And
so we would reenact Helm's Deep. But someone would go, me and Jake would be going, yeah, but who's going to be the Urukai that falls off the ladder? I.e. fall off the top of the bunk bed.
Oh my god.
And then all you hear is a thud, and my mum would go, Rhys! And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
See, now I was the one to unravel, when you buy a DVD and you've got like the plastic wrap, I was the one to unwrap that at the house and I was the only and the first person in my house to watch Lord of the Rings.
What is it that makes Lord of the Rings, especially the trilogy, the Peter Jackson trilogy, so special?
As in purely the films or the story itself?
The films. Well, we know how special the story is because, look, J.R.R. Tolkien.
He's a god.
He's just. It's like, why did you do this? Because I did it.
Because, why?
He puts GCSE English teachers to shame. What did he mean by this character? And J.R.R. Tolkien with his pipe going, because I did.
Because, why are the curtains red? Because I like red.
Yeah. Why is the Elvish old Welsh? Because Welsh is awesome. Rock on.
Yeah, because it's Welsh, Latin, and
Finnish.
Finnish.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think so. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I heard it was Finnish.
Because I know for a fact that it's Welsh and Latin.
Naka Daka Thayaf, and I should die as one of them. No, but what makes this so special, Lord of the Rings? This is supposed to be a reflective 2024.
I know, and yet here we are talking about Lord of the Rings.
Because Lord of the Rings is awesome.
Lord of the Rings is awesome.
And they're making a fucking remake of it. Oh. Anyway, what makes him? What makes?
I really don't know. I think it's. I genuinely don't know. I just remembered watching it for the first time, and I was just absolutely hooked.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it was because I really loved the characters of Pippin.
Merry and Pippin.
Pippin and Merry and Pippin. And it's got the perfect balance of joyful and dark. When it's dark, but when it's joyful, it needs to be that joyful. Yeah. But you've also got the fantasy element, which I am weak at the knees for anything fantasy, honest to God.
Yeah. Return of the King, right?
Yes.
Is a lot of people, I don't know if you agree, people said the reason why Return of the King won Best Picture and won all the Oscars was because the Academy couldn't basically let all the films of the trilogy win. So basically, the reason why they gave Best Picture for Return of the King was to say all the other films were great.
Yeah.
So all three technically won it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fair enough, but Ian McKellen should have won Best Supporting Actor. Just saying, Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah.
And going up against that Balrog. Shove it. No, one of my.
He took all the XPs.
He took all the XPs. I knew you were going to say this. Like, he took the XPs. No, but dude, one of my all-time favorite scenes, two of my all-time favorite scenes in Return of the King was Sam and Frodo are climbing up Mount Doom, and Frodo is completely weak. Because he's carrying this ring and it's not far away from Sauron, and Sam is just holding him, and he's like, I want to go back to the Shire, and blah blah blah, and he goes, I can't carry it for you, but I will carry you, and he just picks him up on his shoulder and carries him. I'm like, that is a friend. That is a friend. That is Samwise.
Samwise fucking Gamgee.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know what it is. I think it's just a culmination of everything that, because everybody puts their heart and soul into those trilogies.
One of my also favorite scenes I was going to say is where the Black Gates open and it's all the orcs and Uruk-hais and they're surrounding what is left of the men of Middle Earth, right? And it's just the fact that Aragorn stands there and Sauron is just mocking Aragorn, and Aragorn just turns, there's tears down his eyes. Gandalf and all the fellowship and all the men are just there going, what are we doing, my king? And he's like, for Frodo. And he just runs out. And it's just that quote, he goes, they did the unthinkable. They charged.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Merry and Pippin were second to come charging.
Absolutely.
Well. People don't seem to realise that. It's good little details, right? That the next people to follow on, regardless, were Merry and Pippin.
Yeah, two hobbits
just ready. It's like, if we're gonna die, we'll go in, die and fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm there. Me and Jake when we saw it, we just had tears in our eyes.
Honestly,
because it's the fact it just symbolizes how, listen, we got to give them a chance, and if we're going to go out fighting and die for that chance, then sod it, we'll go out fighting.
Yeah, because that's what when I saw the musical version of it.
Yeah.
The moment that Sam picks up Frodo.
Yeah.
And says those lines. There's like really, really dramatic music happening in the background, and obviously in a musical you can't fit everything in. I was sobbing.
Yeah.
When I tell you I was sobbing, my sister was she was cackling next to me, because I don't cry at movies. I don't cry at things like that. But my God, I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I was an absolute mess.
I can't carry it for you, but I'll carry you.
But I think it's also because of the music as well, because I may have mentioned it on the podcast before, but I'm heavily influenced by music.
Yeah.
And if you've got like Howard Shore, man, just like...
Yeah. Do you know, have you seen that meme with Phil Collins with Disney? Disney's like, right, we're going to give you to make the soundtrack for Tarzan, but try not to go overboard with making it awesome. And then the next picture is the piano's on fire and Phil Collins says, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, Howard Shore, that's like...
Howard Shore absolutely lit everything on fire for...
My all-time favourite one is when... piece of music. I think it was back in the Fellowship of the Ring, and all you hear is what's that tower? Because they take Gollum, and he goes Shire Baggins, and then Asgor's come on horseback, and it's that da da dun dun dun. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's it's so criminal that Viggo Mortensen did not get Best Actor in a Leading Role nomination or Best Supporting Actor in Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Yeah, he carried that movie. I'm not saying everyone else, but he was. The story was about him. It technically was.
Technically,
because it's called The Return of the King.
Yeah.
It was really about, it's about the ring. Right, hear me out. I see your face. Hear me out, right? It's all about, if it wasn't for Aragorn to go into the, to speak to the undead army, right? Not Mordor, is it Mordor? Yeah, Mordor would have been in disarray if it weren't for him. If it weren't for him that he went all the way to get another army together to go into, oh, flippin' heck, my brain's gone to mush now. Where's Sauron based?
Mordor.
No, it is Mordor.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, they're both Mordor, are they?
No, you've got Mordor.
Yeah, and then there's Mordor. I'm just winding you
and
up.
then Gondor.
Yeah.
No, Mordor is where Mount Doom is.
Okay, no, to ride into Mordor. But what's
Isengard? Are you thinking of Isengard?
No, not Isengard. So wait a minute, I said Mordor, so what's the I'm so the Lord of the Rings fans are gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill myself because I used to know this shit.
I am I'm struggling here.
No, oh God. What's the place where he becomes king in the end? What is that?
Gondor.
That is Gondor, right. Sorry, my brain just went like that. So Gondor would have been in disarray, right?
Yes.
Then he got an army into Mordor. Sorry, I confused myself then because there's so many names, and I'm like, wait a minute, which one's which? Because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in a while.
In all honesty, that's what it was like when reading the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Have you read the Silmarillion?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah. I got 40 pages in and had to put it down.
But again, going back, sorry.
Yeah.
But it is about him because it follows him. He gets the girl. He confronts Sauron and he mocks him and he's like, fuck you, don't mess with my woman, I'll fucking kill you. Because did you know it was actually going to be him versus Sauron in the end of the film? You know that big troll that he fights?
Yeah.
Originally that was supposed to be Sauron.
Really?
in behind the scenes. Oh, go on YouTube, look it up right now. It's supposed to be the Aragorn, and a shape form of Sauron was going to fight the two of them. I am not making this up. Reflecting on 2024, how does it work? Well,
Good God.
yeah.
Yeah, yes, Peter Jackson originally intended Aragorn to fight Sauron in the film adaptation of Return of the King, but ultimately decided to have Aragorn fight a troll instead.
Because there was a reason. I felt like it was something to do with the aura of Sauron, where it would have taken away the mystery or something like that of Sauron. I don't know. But yeah, it's mainly about him. Where did they go in the end? Frodo, the Undying Land or something, was it?
Yeah, they went to the Grey Havens.
So why did Gandalf go as well? Was it because his task was done?
Basically,
I understand with Frodo because Frodo's Shelob poisoned him, and he was slowly succumbing to the pain or something like that. I know, like I said, I've not. I know you're a bigger fan than me.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm. It's been a while,
and it's been a while for me. I think it's been more of a while for me than you.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, now please, ladies and gentlemen, do point me out if I am wrong, but he went into the Grey Havens because technically he was a hero. He helped to defeat the big bad. But the only reason why he was going was because a place turned up, because Arwen wasn't going, because she decided to
stay with Aragorn,
be human. Because in the third act, in the third film, she chooses to stay with Aragorn, and so her elvish, basically her ticket, her one-way ticket to Valinor was taken away. So she wouldn't be able to get onto that boat even if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Because she chose,
she chose love.
Half elves.
Yeah.
Can choose to either be human or to, follow their elvish lineage. She chose not to do that, and so that opened up a space for Frodo to get onto that boat to go to Valinor. But obviously, with what happened to him, obviously Frodo was really, really exhausted, and he knew that his way of life previously, he wouldn't be able to go back to that, because he is so haunted by everything that's happened, and obviously being stabbed by the Morgul blade.
And being stabbed by Shelob.
And by Shelob.
Carrying the ring. Like a little bitch that he is.
So by going into the Grey Havens, it would give him that peace.
He smiled at the end, didn't he?
He
Just
did.
that smile there. But why did Gandalf go?
Because it's now the time of men. The time of elves has come to an end, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. He's only going off what Manwë was saying, because he's not supposed to be putting his tuppence in and guiding people. He's supposed to be there as a guardian, as an overall seer, to make sure that everything kind of goes right. Obviously he doesn't, the little meddler. But for now, time of peace.
Yeah.
Sauron has gone.
Saruman's gone.
See, now Saruman was a good guy until he got his hands on a Palantir, which made him go a little bit cuckoo, which is also what happened to the steward of Gondor. His name escapes me, but he also got his...
Rima? No, Rima. No. Steward of Gondor.
Faramir's father.
Oh, right.
And Boromir. Both
my
of those,
captain, my king.
Both of those got a hold of the Palantir, which obviously Sauron was corrupting them. So they went from good guys to bad guys. Which, to be honest, I didn't realize until I read the books. Because I was always like, oh, the Steward of Gondor is a big bad guy. He's a horrible man, but he's just been corrupted, much like everybody else.
How did he get corrupted in the films? In the book, he'll go into more details, but how did he?
I don't think it was.
It was grief more, was it?
It was grief, but I'm also pretty sure that they did mention the Palantir. But
So remind me again, the Palantir is that mystical
is the ball thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
So when
people are like, you call yourself a Lord of the Rings fan? Listen, right? I'm not 8 no more, right?
So when Pippin held the Palantir,
Yeah.
Sauron knew where they were.
Right.
Because
took.
Literally. But yeah, so a lot of things. I think it was hinted at in the films. It's been a very, very long time since I've actually seen.
It just goes to the thing about Faramir and Boromir's father was more like he was driven insane by grief.
It was a mix of everything, in all honesty, because obviously he was running Gondor. He lost his favourite son, because we're not even going to beat it around the bush.
Yeah.
Boromir was his favourite son. And Sauron is back, Gondor is in danger, and he's looking into the Palantir to see if he can either gain help or gain an upper hand on the enemy, and it ended up corrupting him.
Yeah.
And so it was just a culmination of everything that kind of eventually drove him just insane.
One of the saddest things was Boromir's death. I would have followed you all the way, my captain, my king.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It was very, very sad.
I packed a punch. Because also he fought to the end.
He did.
Because even though like 3 or 4 hours rammed in him, he still kept fighting. And I'm like... But but I love a redeemable character because he knew he did wrong, and it's like even when he was dying, he was telling Aragorn, like, I'm sorry, I let you down, and Aragorn's like, no, it's okay. He's like, you're Boromir, man.
I know that it's annoying that you can't really fit everything that's in the books into the films. Because I would have loved to have more about Faramir, because in the books, Faramir is so good. Faramir is such a character, but obviously he's a shell of the person that he is in the books, because there's just not enough time.
Yeah.
There's really not enough time to get to know every character that they come up with.
How do you feel about Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis working on a Gollum film? Because was it The Search for Gollum or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what's the whole point of The Search for Gollum? Is it before he gets kidnapped by the Nazguls? Is it or?
I think so. Yeah.
Excuse me. How's that going to work?
I have no idea. I really, really don't know. To be honest, I put more faith in Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis than I do in Amazon.
Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers let themselves down. Yeah. I just feel. I mean, carry on a minute. I'm going to turn the light on because it's getting really dark.
It is really dark.
Yeah.
I've got more faith in Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis, considering that they have lived through Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3, and The Hobbit 1, 2, 3. I
feel like Peter Jackson. I do not blame Peter Jackson one bit for The Hobbit. I think that was studio.
It was I'm pretty sure that the reason why they went for CGI was because of the studio. It wasn't because of Peter Jackson.
Yeah, because Peter Jackson would have had, because he's known for practical effects.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, I know he did King Kong and everything, but you had to use practicals for King Kong, for Christ's sakes. But, you know...
But they gave him a deadline, and that deadline was he wasn't able to do the special effects that he wanted.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault. I don't blame him one bit.
Yeah. And
I blame him, though, for adding Toriel, and that makes me sad.
For adding what?
Toriel. the ginger elf.
Oh yeah.
And that love triangle that didn't need to be there because she doesn't exist in the book.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that made me so
If it ain't
angry.
broke, don't fix it.
Literally.
How would you feel, if, in your honest opinion, how would you feel J.R. Tolkien's response would be if he saw the films? That is a long pause.
It is a long pause because I think he would like Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3. I don't think he would like The Hobbit.
No.
Because
The treatment.
it's such a small book in comparison to Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3.
Because you could easily have it as, because he wanted it as 1 and 2, like there and back.
Which is...
But that was and then studios were like, no, you need to make a third, just like the films. It's like, but this is what happens with studio. Right, I'm going into a rant now. Here we go to rant, and we're only what? Let's have a look. In this second part, where we going? 40 minutes in. We're going to 40 minutes in. Do you know what? We're going to go to over 2 hours. Is because it's reflected on 2024. We're going to go off.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. There's no director's cut. It's just the full shebang, right? This is my rant, right, with studio executives, whether you be Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Disney, Paramount, Universal, whatever. It's almost as if that the executives just do not have a clue about the art of film. They don't have a clue about any... People are going to be like, well, no shit, Sherlock. But it's like, yeah, but if you're going to go into film, leave it to the film people. I just hate it when executives feel like they know better. It's like, well, have you picked up a camera? Have you gone lights, camera, action? No, right? And I just hated that there's this consistent of 2024. The one thing I'm not going to miss about 2024 is the amount of remakes, reboots.
Honestly.
Remakes, reboots, and unnecessary sequels. Yeah. I'm not saying sequels are bad, but there's got to be a reason why you want to do it. It's like The Godfather, right? Part 1, 2, and 3. A lot of people don't like Part 3, and I can understand why. I really liked Part 3. I like some sequels, whatever, but it's got to be necessary.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason why you need to carry on that. Like, it's like Gladiator 2. A lot of people think, yeah, it's good, and I'm like...
oh, really?
People think it's good.
I still haven't seen it.
A lot of people love Denzel Washington in it, and he's going to be favoured for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars.
Very nice. Which
is fine. Denzel Washington is bae. But... it's like people are talking about Wicked, right? I loved Wicked Part 1. People are like, why are they making Part 2? There shouldn't be Part 2. It's like, yeah, but in all fairness, I understand why.
Yes.
First act, second act, like a musical.
Yes.
And always have John M. Chu be in charge of musical films because he did well in Washington, in The Heights.
Yeah.
But it's just studio executives saying, oh yeah, but this was really good, so why didn't we make more of it? And it's like, because the reason why it's good is because it's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right.
Yes.
And if you're gonna, and they're like, yeah, but if they're gonna throw money at it, it's like, yeah, but money's not gonna last forever, and you're gonna have a damning legacy. Why do you think Warner Brothers has got such a bad reputation now?
Why do you think Disney has got such a bad reputation now?
Yeah, because they're doing unnecessary remakes. I saw the trailer for Snow White. It looks horrendous.
There we go. Going back to our conversation about people who I actively am going to avoid is her.
Yeah, and Gal Gadot as well.
See, now, I really liked her in...
But there's a reason why. I don't want to go political.
Yeah.
But the conflict.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of her. I've heard some of the stuff that Rachel has done.
Yeah.
Are just so unnecessary and so petty.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to watch it.
Yeah. I just don't like the use of... A lot of people say, yeah, CGI is the future. It's like, well, I'm not being funny. You look at Pirates of the Caribbean films, right? How can we go from that perfected Davy Jones CGI look like to that?
Yeah. It's because...
Studios are like, time.
Yeah.
We need it now.
Yeah, we need to crunch it out. It's like, no. Given enough time... what is it?
Indiana Jones 5 also done my head in. It broke my heart.
That's the one.
Indiana Jones 5 where
Oh, that's with Mads Mikkelsen, isn't it?
yeah.
I quite like that one. I liked it better than the previous film.
Right. I am a massive Indiana Jones fan.
Okay.
And
me as well.
Right. Now, a lot of people criticise Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because they were like, oh my god, it's aliens. It's got Shia LaBeouf in it. Shia LaBeouf was actually alright in it. He was alright in it. It was like Shia LaBeouf before Shia LaBeouf was in Transformers and being a dick or anything.
See, but now...
And people are saying about, oh, it's not realistic. It's like, wait, hang on a minute. So you mean to tell me, right, that Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Oh, it wasn't, melting faces and, spirits and everything. It's not as real as the rude Maru ripping hearts out of chest and everything. Oh, it wasn't as... Galima! And anyway. It wasn't as real as The Last Crusade, where you drink from the cup of Christ, you live for immortality, Back off!
Now, to be honest, I think it might have been a better film if the original guy who was supposed to have played his son hadn't opened his mouth.
Yeah.
Because he opened his mouth, he was very, very quickly booted and had to do everything again with Shia LaBeouf. And, I mean, no shade to Shia LaBeouf. But my personal opinion is that film is not the best out of all of them. For me, it will always be the weakest.
I just feel they went back. Right, Indiana Jones 5, I had a lot of problems with it. James Mangold's directing shouldn't have been there. It did not feel like, when they were driving in the car, did you notice, like, the background, it was very, very quick, weird CGI crashes and blow up explosions. It's like it didn't need to do that in the first three, even in the fourth. I know there was a few CGI things, but I can understand why. But there were a few things. There was still a lot of practical shots with the car chases and everything. And people were like, but Harrison Ford is in his 80s. Yeah, I get that, but it just Spielberg should have directed it.
Yeah.
James Mangold, as much as I like him, he shouldn't have directed it. It should have been Steven Spielberg. It should have been the last hurrah for the fifth one. I didn't like the female character.
Didn't you?
I didn't like the goddaughter. I thought she was just a pain in the ass. I thought she was constantly going into unnecessary trouble, and making Indiana Jones look weak. It's like she was like, I'm going to go off and do this. And Indiana's like, no, stop doing that. And she's like, oh, punch her in the face. Now leave me alone. She was just a nuisance.
Oh, okay.
She was such a fucking nuisance. Also, the use of Nazis as the villains again. I know Indiana Jones's main nemesis are all Nazis. I get that, but why? Why do we need another Nazi as a villain again? Why? I mean, the fourth one, I liked it was the Russians, because it was the height of the Cold War.
Yeah.
So the Russians were the bad guys. I'm like, yes, brilliant. I didn't mind The Last Crusade because it was still set in before the Second World War.
Yeah.
The Galima, Temple of Doom. It was the voodoo evil.
Yes.
People. I was like, I got that. I didn't mind Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade. Last Crusade will always be my favourite.
Yeah.
Because I love the father and son relationship between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. I love the story from beginning to end, where they had not just those two, but they had Marcus and Solemn and also I met Julian Glover, the villain, Donovan. Lovely. He was very lovely. I just loved the music that John Williams produced for Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Yes. I just loved it. It was so perfect. And riding off into the sunset, I thought was, if you watch the behind the scenes, this is why I'm a lover of DVDs, right? Not digital streaming shit, because the behind the scenes give you reasons why they make it. In the fourth one, Spielberg did not want to make any more Indiana Jones films. It was George Lucas who said, let's give it another one. And he was the one that came up with the alien idea.
Oh, really?
No, I'm going to fight for this, right?
Okay.
The alien one makes sense. because of ancient aliens. If you look at ancient textures and everything, you know, like with the gods and the Egyptian gods and everything, there's more like alien-like, and especially in Peru, and where they have those big descriptions where only the gods can look up and see and everything.
Yes.
It made a lot of things, especially at the height of the Cold War, when there was a few extraterrestrial things going on that weren't making any sense. A lot of things made sense. It's just people are just too stupid enough to not put two and two together.
Yeah.
But that's why I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay.
I just liked it. I loved but with Indiana Jones 5, I thought the goddaughter was a bit of a nuisance. I didn't mind the time traveling bit. I understood the reason why. The Nazis as villains, I felt like it should have been a different new villain altogether. Keep Mads Mikkelsen as a villain.
He's such a good villain.
But it could have been different. He could have been like a mad scientist. Not like a Nazi, just a mad scientist, or someone who's out for power or whatever. You know?
Yeah, but I mean...
Because if you notice in The Last Crusade, the one thing that I really liked about The Last Crusade is, like, yeah, they had the Nazis, but they weren't the main villains. Walter Donovan was the main villain.
Yeah.
Because he was this American businessman who basically sold himself out to the enemy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a good villain. You sold yourself out.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Yeah.
Whereas the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Nazis were the enemy.
Yeah. Although, could you really have them go back in time to go and change history without them being Nazis?
Yeah, you can. They could have been Russian. You could have gone back in time and sorted something out in the Russian Revolution. You could have gone back in time at the height of whatever. It's just, I just feel like it's like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the video game. Main villain, Nazi. It's like, oh. But at the same time, it's a young Indiana Jones type, and but that's all I loved Harrison Ford. Look, I'm not saying it's awful. It's watchable. I would still watch it. I just feel like, what's her name again? Phoebe Weller's name? Oh my god, that's gonna annoy me. But
because she's the one in Fleabag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's tap in Fleabag quick. Yeah, Phoebe Bridge.
Waller-Bridge, is it? Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I just felt like she was just a nuisance. That's not to say she did a bad job. I just felt like, oh no, you're just a nuisance. Go on, fine. Antonio Banderas in it, right? He was only in for 10 minutes, and I felt like he should have had a bigger role. There was some things in the Indiana Jones 5 that worked so well. I'm not saying that it was bad. It was just like, oh, it didn't feel like, why would Indiana Jones do that? But I would have ended it differently. I know people say, yeah, how would you end it differently? Blah blah blah. I would have had someone else play Indiana Jones' son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to do that. I would have someone else play him. Say for argument's sake, Chris Pratt or something like that. I'm not saying like Chris Pratt, because that's another actor. It's like, oh, he's in everything. But but someone like him, or like a new actor, Timothée Chalamet or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Just someone to play Indiana Jones' son and have that sort of Last Crusade 2.0 story, but it's Indiana Jones handing the whip and fedora to the son. Because it didn't feel like that in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, it didn't. I think it was supposed to have been.
Yeah, but I think Spielberg, George Lucas changed the dynamics. So Indiana Jones 5 should have been, my opinion, get a different actor in. They did that with Mads Mikkelsen in Fantastic Beasts, but Fantastic Beasts was a disaster waiting to happen.
It really was.
Disaster waiting to happen. But that story, you could have had someone else play Indiana Jones' son, or you could have had Indiana Jones with Indiana Jones' grandson. Hand it over to the next one, because that way then you could still sort of carry on Indiana Jones. Look, if you want to carry on with franchising films and everything, well, leave Indiana Jones alone and go into a TV series of the young. Do you remember the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles?
No.
There was a TV show called The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles and it was a younger Indiana Jones before all the Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and Indiana Jones and the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Dial of the Destiny. See, but this is how much I really like Indiana Jones 5. It's like, someone said, but would you watch it? Do you hate it that much that you're not going to watch it again? No, because I love Indiana Jones. It still gives you that dun 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 dun.
To be honest, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Crystal Skull, I will actually sit down and watch it because as you said, it's still Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I just another thing as well is the CGI. The de-aging of a lot of people liked it. I liked it to a point.
Yeah.
I was like, because but Indiana Jones 5 should have been more about why did they have to have a goddaughter in it, and Kathleen Kennedy was like, we need to make a strong woman in it. I was like,
to be honest, I've got a funny feeling they were trying to pass the buck to her rather than to his son, because obviously what happened with the son was a bit of a disaster. Yeah. So by bringing in someone who is just as I think what they were trying to do is that they were trying to bring the Indy in his prime to her, but instead of it being, oh, she's very much like Indy, she's ended up being really obnoxious.
Yeah.
And really annoying.
Yeah, and that's why if I was in charge of that Indiana Jones 5 story, it would have been, oh, you're not going to get the son, well, bring your grandson in. See, we noticed though, they only had one child, so who's going to pass the torch on? And I would have had somewhere down the lines of, the father died, and he had a falling out with his son, but he didn't want that to be with his grandson, Henry Jones the Fourth. And so what he does is he finds out that his grandson is in danger. So he goes to, I don't know, India or somewhere in Asia or somewhere in the South America or somewhere in Africa. And the grandson is looking for the, I don't know, the Joan of Arc's sword or something like this object. When they talk about the Great Circle, look for the Noah's Ark or something, and something.
I've got a horrible feeling that what they've done is that they've brought it up to date a little bit too quickly.
Yeah.
Because obviously in the previous films you had certain very clear events going on. Whereas with in fact, I have only seen Dial of Destiny once.
It was all to do with the moon landings. I mean, but that's the thing with Indiana Jones, is that I know it circles around in chains of events, but they could have easily gone to Vietnam still, because he said that, his father died in Vietnam or whatever. But it would have been really good that that if it was Indiana Jones and his grandson, and say Indiana Jones can't swing over, but his grandson goes, Grandpa, whoosh, and he sees him in his grandson, and just handed him. It would have worked so well. They just didn't sit down to go, slow down a minute. We will sort this out. No wonder why it bombed at the box office. The budget was unnecessary.
Yeah.
300 million. Jesus. And they didn't even break even. They made 300 million back, but in terms of Hollywood, that's not break even.
No.
They had to make 600 million to break even.
Christ.
How can you break even at 600 million on a 300 million dollar budget?
Yeah.
But I still love Indiana Jones. I'd probably watch Dial of Destiny again. I'll probably appreciate it a little bit more in the future, but...
To be honest, I think thinking about it, like now that we're actually having a conversation about it, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull isn't as bad as I keep talking about it.
Yes.
I just remember...
Excuse me.
I think it's because I didn't want it to be aliens. which is really weird considering that, you know, all of the other events at the end of the movies where, you know, the melting as soon as they open the thing. Literally. I got really upset that I had to go to work when we were watching it, and I was like, my partner, you need to record it and send it to me. And he was like, really? And I'm like, yes, I need to see the end of the film. I need to see the bad guys lose. Anyway, but I think it's really weird because I think the alien part really just like was a bit. I couldn't suspend my disbelief to aliens, and I don't know why.
I think it's the same with a lot of people where it's not evidently. Some people say it's not evidently possible, or whatever. But I always tell people, yeah, but look at the Ark. Look at people ripping hearts out of people's chests and magic stones and.
But for some bizarre reason, I can suspend my disbelief for that.
Yeah.
But when it came to aliens, I don't know. I think I literally sat back and I was like, why?
I think
why did it have to be like aliens?
Probably still to do with like rationality of.
Possibly.
Because you know there's an Ark. You know there's a cup of Christ. You know there are some voodoo crap out there. You can see you can bend the possibilities of it can actually happen. Whereas I was talking to William Davis. I said that he's a skeptic, but he was in the X-Files. He played one of the major villains in the X-Files. And I said, well, how do you remove your skepticism how do you put your skepticism out the door when you do an X-Files? And he said, because you know it's fiction. You know it's fiction. And in my head I was a bit like, oh, okay, but he used like pseudoscience compared to actual science of facts and everything. And he said you can't factually prove there is stuff out there. And I was like, yeah, but I'm on the possibilities of there are things out there that we haven't discovered, like the ocean.
Yes.
But I understood where he was coming from, where it's like, well, that's the differentiator. And maybe because with extraterrestrial life, it's more to do with the fact that it's not proven. It's like, well, how do we know it's X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
But I just felt like it worked.
Yeah.
Because if you ever watch Ancient Aliens and look at the textures of how the pyramids were built and how I mean, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole because that's for the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, there are many of those out there.
Yeah, many of those out there. But you can understand. But that's why I understood and appreciate more with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah. Or maybe because I was a kid when it came out.
Maybe
because I was a kid and it came out, and you know, all I knew of Indiana Jones was on the VHS tapes.
Yeah, whereas I wasn't so much of a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, I was obviously...
Teenager. You gotta be teenager. How long ago was Crystal Skull? 2008.
Let's have a look.
Because if it was 2008, then I must have been 12.
King.
Yeah. How long ago was that film? Oh God.
Okay. Oh God, I can't type. There we go. 2008.
Okay, so I was 12. I was 12 years old when it came out.
I was.
You have to think now.
I know, 15.
There's only 3 years apart from us. 3 or 4.
Hang on. So I was 7 when my sister was born, which is 2000.
Yeah, but I'm 1996.
I'm 1992.
3, 94, 95, 4 years. Oh, you're 4 years older than me. And I'm 4 years older than my missus. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was...
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go and watch Indiana Jones now as soon as
do you want, to be honest, I was thinking exactly the same.
Yeah, thank God for Disney Plus.
Oh no, we've got it on DVD, baby.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I would love for someone to buy me the physical copies of Indiana Jones.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes!
Yeah. Oh my God, Indiana Jones is so good. Do you know what? We're gonna... Well, I think we are like hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour and 40 minutes. This is gonna
50. Go... No, because the other one was 50.
Oh, sugar shit. Yeah. Oh, sugar shit.
So
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
You did call it 2 hours.
Yeah, did call it 2 hours. We're still carrying on though.
Oh, we're still carrying on.
Yeah.
Because there again, we still haven't got back to the whole 2024 thing.
No, we haven't. And I don't think I'm going to call it 2024 now.
No, it's just going to... End of year gossip.
Yeah, end of year gossip. That's actually a good title.
End of year gossip.
Yeah, end of year gossip. End of year chat.
Yes.
But what would you say with the podcast? What are you happy with what's happened in that?
To be honest, I'm really happy with like what you're doing at the minute. I will agree with you that it is repetitive to a point, but it's nice that you can get me back in, not because it's me, but it's because it's me, but because we can talk about our own personal experiences and the stuff that we've done and the stuff that we can debate about, because obviously you can't really debate about things like this when it comes to, you know, actors and all the people that you can bring in, whereas we can have, with me and you, and these sessions, these podcasts are the downtime in between the
guests.
The guests, where you can chat about, you know, if you really wanted to, you can chat about the guests that you've had. Yeah. And, you know, it's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah. For me as well, I think.
Yeah, for you, because obviously I can gas on a bit and then you can gas on a bit.
It's like, let's have a look at some of the guests. I mean, Gregory Maguire, Gwyl Owen.
Yeah.
Gwyl Owen wasn't really the best. I will be no offense. Derek Baskin, Mark Kendall, Neil Fallon, Martin Motnick. I mean, I've had Bob Perkin, Ben Castle, Phil Lamar. Oh my God, I'm going back. John Boyne, Robert Clotworthy, Jason Page, Richard Stanley. So Adrian Barber was my first 2024 guest.
Oh, okay.
And she was lovely. She was lovely. I couldn't see it though, because apparently there was a sad event that happened in the family and she didn't want to be seen. And I was like, fine, but she was lovely.
Yeah.
I think the weak one was Gwyl Owen.
Yeah.
For me, because I lost interest halfway through the podcast.
Oh dear.
That was not to do with him. I think it was to do with the fact that I ran out of questions to ask, and if you look on the YouTube and Spotify details, it's not successful.
Oh dear.
Do you know how many views it is on YouTube?
How many?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah?
Oh no.
At least ours, even though it's not, you can't see us physically, it's just audio, at least we've got a bit of a viewership of following.
Yeah.
Best one, Adrian Barber. Phil Lamar was a really good one. Talking about being in Pulp Fiction and him doing the voice of Samurai Jack and a few other bits and pieces. That was fun.
I'm so jealous.
You
spoke to Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I could tell you I wouldn't say it's the worst one, but I can tell you I still maintain that the one I find difficult going back to listen to, and I hope he doesn't mind me because I can move on from this now. But it was the one with Henry Normal, which was last year's. When I did that with Henry Normal, he done something to his shoulder or arm, and I don't know what it was, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know if he was off or I was off or we were both off, and I felt like I could have done well with the research a bit better, and that's another thing, do well researching. But there was a few times where we were talking about when he wrote the comedy Royal Family. I said, I mentioned that Ricky Tomlinson, who played the father, he's like, oh, he's the main character, and he went, well, he's not the main character, the daughter is the main character. She changes and everything. And I just remembered, he said, did you ever watch Royal Family? And that's what he said to me on the podcast. Like, did you ever watch Royal Family? And I was a bit like, well, yeah, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, cut me some slack.
Yeah.
I think there were a few times. And then it's like when I did some research and I said, oh, your name's not on Wikipedia. And he was a bit like, He was very bland.
Yeah.
Very bland.
And unfortunately, I think if you're for a conversation, both people need to bounce back.
Yeah.
It's a conversation is like a game of tennis. If you're not throwing the ball back, then you're not going to get a good.
No.
You're not going to get a good hit on the racket.
No, and another thing as well that I'd like to have is a few more guests.
Yeah.
That are Welsh.
Yes.
I've had one person say, "Why didn't you have some more Welsh guests on there?" And I said, because it's not a Welsh themed podcast.
No.
But my friend from the football said, yeah, but it suits well that, because I'm a Welshman, you're Welsh, and
Yes.
It suits well that if you have someone like Johan Griffith or Matthew Rhys on the or Michael Sheen, at least you could bounce back because you know you got loads of things in common.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been trying to get Michael Sheen on the show since day one.
Oh, really?
And 3 years on, I've not had any luck.
Hopefully one day.
Hopefully one day, yeah.
That would be quite nice.
Is any particular favourite episode that you ever listened to? And this is the shocking turn of events that she's not listened.
This is the shocking. To be honest, I don't really listen because I don't.
Some friend.
I know. I'm sorry.
Some friend.
No, it's because when my focus is very, very particular. Like, if I sit down to listen to a podcast, I need to sit down and listen to it. I can't do anything besides it.
Yeah.
And it's like when I watch a film. If I watch a film that I've never seen before, I have to sit down and I watch it. It's only when I've seen things like 3 or 4 times that I can actually get up and do something while I'm watching or while I'm listening. Because I have literally got in my favorites on Spotify, I've got like about 4 or 5 different things that I want to listen to. But I just can't. I can't sit down because I would love to be able to sit down and when I'm in work and listen to podcasts or listen to audiobooks and listen to stuff like that. But number one, the shop is so noisy when I turn my machine on. I can't. But also when a customer comes in, obviously, I get really annoyed if I miss something. Like, for example, my partner and I, we watch anime together and we watch it in Japanese. If he starts gassing to me and I miss about 10 seconds worth of dialogue, I have to go back. Because I could miss something really important.
Yeah.
If I miss something really important, then I'm going to be lost. And I'm going to be really, really sad. But it's the exact same with a podcast. If I miss, like a couple of lines of dialogue, there's just something off.
Yeah.
But I do want to listen to the one that you had with the author of Wicked.
Yeah.
That I'm really interested in that. Not to say that all of your other guests aren't interesting, and you're not interesting. Is that
don't lie?
I'm sorry. It's my focus is very particular.
No, that's fair enough. But I look back on 2024, and a lot of people probably look back and think, I'm glad to see the back end of it. It has been longer, but I would say it's been very. I published a poetry book.
Yeah.
Did a show in London.
Yeah.
Got this podcast up a bit.
Yeah.
A little bit more popular than was last year.
Yeah.
And long may it continue.
Long may it continue.
Yeah.
Long may you reign.
Long may it reign. I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you the end of 2024.
The end of 2024. Goodbye.